You've supported hundreds of public health students and alumni in their career journeys. What do you find are the most common challenges public health students face in launching their careers?
I love this question because it is focusing on job titles
Mm,
and focusing on the buzzwords because public health jobs are hidden throughout. I mean, I can't tell you this is the job title you're going to go get. Like, I have no idea. It could be program manager, it could be something coordinator, it could be something specialist. I have no idea what it will be. I also think a challenge that public health professionals have too can be focusing too much on one public health topic and not being open to exploring other topics because you're using the same skills, and being that flexible and adaptable with the topic area and maybe population you want to work with can really open a lot of more opportunities for you. I mean, it's funny because I'll have like a student that starts their master's program. They're like, I want to, work in diabetes research. Okay, cool. Like that, let's do that. And then I'll meet them like 2 years after they graduate and they're like, yeah, I don't work in diabetes research at all, but I absolutely love what I'm doing. So I think just, it's okay to have like, a plan or a path, but be open to other um, public health topics and don't focus on job titles. And I think then you have a much more successful career journey or job search, the more open and adaptable you are.
absolutely, absolutely. I didn't even know the job title for the job that I'm in existed when I graduated from my
Yeah,
master's of public health. So just
exactly.
yeah, yeah. And I think like to your other point, it's like it's so important to build the skills that can be used in whatever topic area. And maybe you do
Yeah,
have an interest in a specific topic area, but there's maybe an oversaturation in those jobs at
exactly.
the in the point in time. So you just build the skills and then come back to the topic area later on if you need to.
Yes. Yes, totally. Absolutely. It's going to change, public health, but it depending on, what is being funded and what is, a hot topic. Obviously a few years ago, everyone was working in COVID. And that was just sorry, hopefully you can cut that. um, but yeah, everyone was working in COVID, and that's just where the jobs were. So I think it's always have, you know if you do have an idea, but if you don't, it's okay. It's okay. Um, so yeah.
How can students stand out in a competitive job market, especially when applying to public health roles across sectors?
Yeah, I think that the best way to stand out is to quantify your impact. Use data, use your competencies from your courses. You all know how to do so many skills. So, really educate the employer on what you know how to do and how you've used that skill to create change, to create an impact. Anytime you can bring in data or numbers or even if it's like created programs or evaluated programs, I think talk about that impact. A lot of times, what I see on resumes or interview preparation is really just talking about that they know how to do these things, but not how they've done them and how it has made a difference for a population. I also think standing out in the job market is all about tailoring, right? So if you're not familiar, applicant tracking systems are everywhere, and most companies use these. So making sure that you are not sending out the same resume and cover letter for every job, making sure you're really tailoring for that job. You're really highlighting the things that they're looking for. When people write job descriptions, they've told you everything they need you to know. So as long as you are completely understanding how your skills and experience fit that job and what they're looking for, and then translate that to your professional documents and application, You should be able to get through the system. And another thing I see people do is they underqualify themselves. So sometimes applications online will have these, I call them knockout questions, where it'll be like, are you proficient in SAS? And you might say, well, I've used it once or I learned it, but I don't know if I'd say I'm proficient. I'm like, say you're proficient. I mean, compared to someone who's never seen it, you're proficient. So don't ever undersell yourself in an application. Also, and this is my third standout, is do informational interviews. Learn from the people that are working the jobs that you want or that are in the companies you want to be in. They might be able to help you on the back end. They might be able to give you tips that I will never know. So absolutely reach out to other professionals and ask for advice. Ask about their career path, learn from them, and see where that can go.
You emphasize the importance of professional branding in your work
Yeah.
as well. What are some key elements of building a personal brand in public health?
I think it's just being yourself, right? People don't typically go into public health because they just thought it would be fun. Like, they usually, when I talk to people, they're like, I didn't know it existed. And then, I took a class in undergrad that mentioned it and this was perfect. Or I'll talk to people and they'll say, well, I thought I wanted to go to med school, but this is actually really what I want to do. So I think really finding what is it that brings you to public health and what is your why? Why do you want to do this work? Public health can be difficult in terms of dealing with sensitive information, and yeah, the work can be hard, but it's very, very, very rewarding. And being able to impact change on a community-wide or nationwide or worldwide is amazing. I mean, the work public health professionals do, I think, is just absolutely amazing. I always tell people what I do is I help people get jobs that save the world, because it is exactly what you all do. So yeah, I think, really focusing on who you are and your why, and don't try to know everything. Be open, and your personal brand really is just your uniqueness. What is your uniqueness? We're all different, and that's the best part about this. What is it that brought you here? Was there something you experienced? Was there something you saw? Was there something that changed for you? And if not, that's okay too. And just, we're all in public health for a reason. So I just think, really own that, and yeah, just be yourself. I really just want people to be who they are and know that you don't need a perfect elevator pitch. You don't need a perfect, again, we're not robots. Like, just be curious, ask people questions, learn from others. And you have a lot to provide too. So don't hold back, make sure that you're speaking up, and yeah, and I think you can create your professional brand however you want. I live on LinkedIn, so that's really where I focus my professional branding, but others might live on a different social media site or want to, just have their professional brand more tailored towards their career and focus on, when they are networking or at conferences. But this work is really meaningful work. So I think just own whatever it means for you.